Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We got the 351 Windsor up at the station. We're going to start taking it apart. So let's go over a few things with it. What did I do with the yes? So one of the reasons why we're taking it apart is when you roll it over, everything seems okay, and then you get to a point to where still okay, and then right there it stops. There's a hard spot. I don't know if it's this piston or this piston over here. I don't know, but there's a hard spot. Now you have to give a little extra effort to get it past that. And then, does it do it again or not? I don't know.
It does it.
It does it, well, you know, when you go around again. So it's still there, and there again. Now that piston, was that one up?
No, this one's down.
Yeah, well, anyway, there's a hard spot. So that's another reason why we're gonna take it apart. And then if you notice right here, as the piston ring comes up, you gotta get it at a different angle. Here, let me see it. See the oil? It's not wiping that oil off. So I do believe that these rings are stuck in the ones that had the rust. That's why we're taking it apart. So we're gonna go ahead and put it back up on number 1 TDC, and we're gonna drain the oil out of it. Look how nasty and black that oil is.
Probably smells like gas.
It smells like nothing like gas. Oh, and while I got the camera on and G Junior's helping me here, this motor is a 94 351 Windsor. Basically, it's a truck block. And this block is designed to take the factory roller lifters, because it's got the boss here tapped out and the boss over here tapped out. So if we wanted to run a stock style roller cam with the spider that holds all the lifters, this block can do it. Alrighty, so we bag and tag everything. Here's all the flywheel bolts. I know I showed you the flywheel. I don't have it here. The flywheel's wasted. We got a brand new flywheel for it. So we're gonna start tearing this thing apart. First thing we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna drain the oil out of it. We're gonna drain the oil out of it. We're gonna drain the oil out of it. I said that like 3 times now. We're gonna pull the distributor and start taking the distributor apart, because it needs to come apart, because it's all, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but you can see all the corrosion inside the distributor. It's really bad. We'll probably have to buy a new pickup for it, disassemble this. I'll probably send this distributor over to E-Boy and have E-Boy powder coat it, sandblast it and powder coat it, make it look real good, and then we'll get a new pickup for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with the pickup, but the pickup is just, oh my God, it's bad. It's rusty as hell. And these are like a 350. This is like a $350 distributor. So we're definitely gonna save that. All right, so let me get the oil drained out of it, and we'll come back and I'll be pulling the distributor out. Okay, so I turned the motor sideways to try to drain the oil out, and I started breaking the drain plug loose, and that is water. So there's water. It's not WD-40. There's water in the bottom of this pan. I don't know how much. We'll find out here. So probably the oil pump's going to be wasted from the water. Who knows what else. And there we go. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad, but there's definitely there was definitely some water in the bottom of the pan, probably about up to here. So hopefully that won't mess anything up. All right, so all right, well, we're getting the oil drained in it, and definitely needs a new drain plug. This thing's, well, maybe not. Maybe I'll just clean it up. So I just wanted to show you that there was water in the oil. There's cylinder number 5, 6, 7, and number 8. And we'll get ready to pull the distributor out next. And that oil is just black as sin and smells like gasoline. All right, I got a good one for you on this one. So got the oil drained. It's a mess. I started taking the oil filter off, got the oil filter wrench, started taking the oil filter off. No oil came out of it because it's basically, most of it has run back into the engine from sitting for so many years. But this is what happens if you don't pay attention. So when you're changing the oil in your car. So taking the oil filter off, got the oil filter off. And what's the first thing I do? I always look in there. And what's missing? The O-ring is missing because the O-ring stuck on the block. And then what people will do is they'll take and just screw another oil filter up there with this ring stuck to the block. And then this O-ring will blow out like this and you'll lose every bit of your oil. So you always want to pay attention. I've actually had a car come in that had two stuck on it. It had one here and one in there that didn't blow out after 3,000 miles, very rare. But you always need to look at your filter and make sure that their O-ring is in here. And even if the O-ring's there, just take a glance at the block real quick and make sure that the O-ring is off. Because like I said, I have seen cars that have been double O-ringed and has lasted 3,000 miles. But usually what happens is they blow out like that and you lose all your oil. And it usually happens on the highway, so you destroy an engine. So just a quick tech tip. Be sure that when you take your oil filters off that, ooh, yummy, yum, yum, that the O-ring comes off. All right, so I'm gonna go drain this and put that in the drain to get that drained, and we'll come back and start taking something else apart. All righty, so we got rid of the nasty oil out of it, so we'll go ahead. Next easiest thing is to pull the distributor out. I went ahead and put it on top dead center just for ha-has, and this is kind of where one was pointing. So we'll go ahead and take the distributor hold down out, 1/2 inch. I'm using a 13, but it's a 1/2 inch. There's that. Let's see if this, excuse me, if this distributor, oh, nice and loose. Hopefully it'll just pop right on out. There we go, beautiful. Alrighty, so there is our MSD Pro Billet distributor, part number 8578, that needs to be rebuilt because there's all sorts of rust. So we'll take this thing apart. Looks like you take and pop the pin out here, the pin out here, and the shaft will come apart. He's got the advanced locked out on this, so I don't know if I'm going to put it back. Now would be the time to put it back to regular advance, so that's probably what I'll end up doing. All right, so there's the distributor out, and they've got that red paint all through there, in there, and the push rod appears to be in. There's the cam gear from what I can see right here looks good. All right, so we are going to continue on. I don't want this video to be too boring, so maybe we'll go ahead and turn the motor over and we'll get right to taking the oil pan off so you can get the pistons out. So I'm starting to roll the engine over, and the pan that I bought, the Sun-X pan, is doing its job. It would be a little bit nicer if this pan was, you know, 6 inches bigger on each side. And I know everybody has given these things a bad review of that they don't last, brake clean destroys them. Well, unfortunately, dummy me bought it before I read the instructions, but I know they get destroyed. So, but at least at the moment it's not destroyed, and it's yeah, see right there, it starts missing. So there's some of the nasty coolant coming out of this motor. Looks like he did have good brass freeze plugs in it. So we're just turning the motor over slowly, trying not to make a mess. There's some more. And there we are. We're completely upside down. All right, so there's the oil pan. Put the drain plug back in. Actually, I haven't had a chance to really look at the oil pan. Actually, I thought it was in worse shape than it was. Looks pretty good. All right, let me go get a 1/2 inch and a 7/16, and we'll start taking the oil pan off to get a look in this lower end. We'll probably pop the motor mounts off, and I will write on here which side goes where with a magic marker so we know, you know, front, and this is going to be the right hand side. So all right, let me get some tools and we'll come back with taking the pan off. Alrighty, you can see from the time warp, got the motor spun over, got the oil pan off, and this oil pan is really sludgy. Can't believe how sludged up it is for probably not that many miles on this motor. So let's come over and take a look at the first thing I see. One of the first things I see is that the pickup is pretty gummed up. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 holes that are open, and I have no idea what that is. Probably a piece of gasket material. That's what it looks like. It looks like a piece of silicone. So I haven't wiped it off yet. Let's get a rag and let's see if it looks like this stuff wipes off. All right, it wipes off. It looks like that probably would have sucked all that stuff in and through the oil pump. So as you look in here, you can see that all these rods are nice and shiny. Looks like they've been sandblasted and probably resized. So now the next thing is okay, this is cylinder number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, this piston and rod is marked number 1. This piston and rod is marked number 2. This one is marked 3, and this one is marked 8. But yet that is number 1. And the same thing on the other side. We have, let's see what we have here. Here's a 5, which is in the number 8 position. Here's a number 6 that's in the 7th position. Here's a number 4 that's in the 6th position, and number 7 is in the 5 position. So I really don't think it matters, but it would be nice to have the rods and the pistons in their right hole. So also, these are F21 rods. Kind of hard to read. Let me get a rag. Okay. F2, that's a 92 rod. Okay. Then here's another 92 rod. But I did see one over here that is a, I can't, there it is, C9. That's a 69 rod. And you know something, that could be a problem, because I thought the 69s had a smaller deck height than the other ones, so that could be a problem. Now I haven't spun the engine over again to see if I can figure out where that hard spot is. I told you that's another reason why I'm taking it apart, is because there appears to be a hard spot, and I don't know if it's just the rings. Okay, there's a hard spot right there. It could just be the transition of the pistons coming around. Let's see. Okay, see, that time it didn't. Okay, now it did it this here. So there's 2 hard spots. I thought maybe that was the one causing it, but I don't think so. So I have shaken all the rods down to see if there's any play, and they all seem pretty good. So hopefully maybe the bearings are all good. What do we have here? Here is an E3 main cap, which is 83 main cap. That's all I really see. So this obviously is some type of motor that you buy on Jegs or in Summit, or somebody that does all the machining. They find parts, they throw whatever parts in it, and they keep them together afterwards. I don't know if he assembled it or it was pre-assembled. But now we'll start popping the rods out, and I guess I have a thing I can mark them, so I put them back in the right spot. I don't know what I should do about that, but I have a thing. Now it does look like they've shaved some weight off the ends of the rods, so that's where I'll put my marks, so I know where exactly all the pistons go before I pop them out. Oh, it does have a double roller timing chain that does have some play in it. So this motor probably has 25 to 50,000 miles on it. I was trying to see if he had the front cover off from where how the gasket is. I can't tell if that gasket is one piece or it's been like maybe he pulled the cover off to change cams or something. I cannot tell. It looks like it over here, but I'm not sure. It does have the one-piece rear main seal. See the red? That's a one-piece rear main seal because this is a 94 block. All right, well, let me get my little punch set out and I'm going to mark all the pistons of where they're at, and I'll start pulling the pistons out of this thing. All righty, real quick, I went ahead and I got my identification tool that has numbers and letters. So what I went ahead and did is, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 on a Ford. So as you can see here, here's the rod. There's 1, 2, 3, and it's kind of hard to see, but there's 4. Then this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 5, 6. I put a line underneath here. That could be a 6 or a 9. Then 7, and then 8. And also what I did is I put the numbers at the front of the rod on all of them. So that means that that's the way they point. Okay, no matter what this says, that says 8. This is actually was in the position of number 1. If I do put these back as a position of number 1, I'll grind that off. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll ask the machine shop what they think. So I got all those marked. So we'll start popping some pistons out here and see what the pistons look like. So we'll start getting some of the pistons out of here. I'll just go ahead and maybe not do a time warp right now. Let's go ahead and get cylinder number 1 piston out. They're 9/16. Okay. Stay. All right. The nuts look okay. Oh, real quick to mention, where did I do it? This guy didn't skimp on very much. The oil pump drive rod, I don't know if you can read that out, is an ARP. So it's a very high quality rod. And I bag and tag everything. So it's always a good idea to bag and tag everything. So, do I have here? Ooh, this thing is tight. Tight, tight, tight. Let's see. Usually the caps, you can just wiggle them and they'll come right off. I do have a little space there. Oh, there we go. You can see I'm using the rubber end of the hammer. So let's pop. Ooh, it's still so tight. Now, what did I just do with that? God, I tell you what, I'm losing my mind, people. There's the hammer. There's that. I don't know where it went. There we go. All right. There's the cap, and the bearing fell out, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and push the piston on down. I need to get some fuel hose. I don't want to crank, scar up the crank. Do I have a razor blade? Where's my razor blade? So, gonna put some rubber hose on here. Yeah, this will do. I don't have any of the little cheesy plastic caps that you used to put on them so you don't scratch your crank. Hey, did you just steal the 1/2-inch wrench I had back here?
No.
What did I do with it? I must be losing mine. Oh, there it is. I see it. Never mind. I see it.
No.
I set it over there and it disappeared. Boy, I grabbed like the dullest razor blade in the world. All right, so there's one. Now I need another one. All right. I don't know why I set that up there, so I found it. I'll put another piece of hose over that one. All right. So let's take and start. Getting this piston out. All right. All right, so I was able to dig the rod bearing, the bottom rod bearing out. Let's take a look at it, see what it looks like. And it's pretty chewed up. It's got a lot of dirt. You can see a lot of dirt went through it. Come on, camera, come on, turn back on. Oh, there it goes. You can see there's a little bit of dirt there, but it doesn't, it's a little bit rough. And let's see what it is. 10 under, 0.010 under, and it's an ACL bearing, but definitely it feels pretty, yeah, you can feel all that. So it's going to need rod bearings. It's probably going to have the crank polished. So now what I'm going to do here is, my dad taught me this, to put bearings in. Some people just shove them in. He told me you shouldn't do that. He said you should take and put it like that, and you should slowly roll the bearing back in. Try to line the tit up. So there, that one's back in there. Does not look that good. Did I grab that screwdriver? Yeah, here it is. I'm almost flush. I'm clear of the crank now. Everything's just falling down today. Okay, there's one ring. Trying not to let it just fall out and hit the pan and explode. And G Junior is nowhere to be found. I've never seen pistons so hard to come out of a block. There we go. Okay, I got both compression rings out, and there we go. All right, so number one piston, pretty carboned up on the face. The first ring is free, no problem. There's seal power. I know that seal power, that is the emblem for seal power, with nice little skirt things on it. The second ring's free. The oil rings are free. Okay, so cylinder number one, piston came right out, no problem. Let me have a rag. Boy, these bearings are falling out of these things really easily. Bearing got some uneven wear on it. Not too bad, but uneven. All right, so we'll pull these rubbers off, and I'll go ahead and put them on, put the cap back on, and we'll put this in the box down here. So we'll try to keep the pistons, and then we'll start cleaning these up later. I'm going to go ahead and put you on a time warp, and we'll get the rest of the pistons out. And when I'm done, I'll come back and I will show you what we found. So after the time warp, there was a hard spot turning the motor over with all the pistons in it. Now it spins over nice and free. Let's get a rag. I'm running out of rags at the shop. You know, the crank journals look okay. The bearings are definitely need to be replaced. So I thought there'd be more pistons with stuck rods. Let me see. I mean, not stuck rods, but with stuck piston rings. So this is number 8. And the second one is stuck on this one. And let's see, I think it was number, what's this one? Number 4. Number 4, the rings are also stuck. No, was it 4? No. There was another one that was really bad. Is it 3? Yeah, 3. Cylinder number 3. See how the piston rings aren't sticking out at all? They are completely stuck in. Cylinder number 3, completely stuck. And that's one of the ones that had a lot of water in it. Cylinder number 3. Cylinder number 2 had a lot of water in it, and that one there looks like they're free. You know, we probably could have started it up, but I just didn't trust it. That little catch. And this is what, cylinder number 8. Cylinder number 8 is real dirty. Let's see. Number 7's okay. 7's okay. Looks nice and clean. What's this one? This one's number 6. They look like the rings are free. And cylinder number 5, the rings look like they're free. So there's a couple pistons, 2 pistons that had stuck rings. Definitely, I don't know, I'm getting all of them discombobulated now, but one of them you saw, this one, here it is. This is cylinder number 3. This had a lot of water in it, and you can see that the rings are stuck. So we're gonna start soaking these down to try to get them freed up. You can see the seal power is kind of worn off on that cylinder a little bit. So we had 2 pistons that had the rings stuck. We'll get them soaking. The hard spot is gone now. So I think the hard spot was because of the rings, because now you can just spin the crank over by hand and not have any problem. So cylinder number 3 right here. Yeah, there's kind of a ridge here. So, and it seemed like this one was, now I turned it over, and the last 2 cylinders, number 8 and number 4, they seemed like they were binding up. Now they don't seem like they're binding up. So, alrighty, so we got the pistons out. It does have some stuck rings. We'll get those over in the safety clean machine to try to clean them up. Maybe we'll have to soak them in diesel fuel. I'm definitely going to put rings in it and bearings. There's a couple bearings that look really bad. I made a mess of the lunch area. That's okay. I have tagged and bagged all the bolts. I still need to tag and bag the motor mount bolts, but I marked the motor mount on which way they go. Where is it? Left goes that way, left driver's side with an arrow, the other one's right. So, all right, everybody, we got the pistons out. The rings are definitely frozen on 2 of the pistons. Oops. Cylinder number 3 seems to be the worst. 1, 2, 3. You know, it doesn't feel bad, too bad, but you can see I couldn't see that before. See that, the light staining there, and the light staining on that one. Let me see if I can get this the rest of the way over without killing myself. It's all right. You know, there's definitely some scratching down that wall. But overall, maybe we can just clean it up. You know, we'll clean up the pistons, measure the pistons, get my machine shop guy to measure the bores, see if he can just re-hone it out clean so we can reuse those pistons with new rings. And we'll go ahead and put all new bearings, and we'll rip the front off, get the cam out, and we'll kind of do a mini rebuild on the motor. All right, everybody, I think I'll leave this one here. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please subscribe. You can always do that in that corner there. Please give me a thumbs up if you like my automotive videos in the Mad Max series. Please like and share, and we will catch you on the next one. Alrighty, everybody, bonus footage. So, as you know, we've been taking apart the 351 Windsor, and three of the pistons had stuck rings. Here is number 8 piston. I've cleaned it off a little bit. You can see that the rings are loosening up. The second ring has not loosened up yet. But when I was watching the video of this, I noticed something, that when I had this laying on the ground, I caught a glimpse of it. The rod is bent. So let me hold this up for you all. And you can physically see that the rod is bent. This is why it was hard to turn over. Now, why is this rod bent? Well, when we pulled the motor apart, I noticed that this face was pretty clean. So does that mean we have a crack in the cylinder? do we have a bad crack in the head? The heads are out being rebuilt right now. So we're going to have to look at this. Maybe water got into the motor and he went to crank it over. It went raw, and he bent the rod. But that rod is definitely bent right there. So I've kind of looked through the rest of the rods. Here, I'll show you another rod. See how it's like perfectly straight? So that rod looks okay. This is number 4. This is on the opposite one. So I think he hydrostatically locked the motor with liquid in this cylinder, and when he spun it over, it bent the rod. That's why this motor was hard to turn over. All right, everybody, just some bonus footage. The motor does have a bent rod. We'll catch you on the next one.